Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Food Experience. Today's experience, this is going to be fun, hopefully. My mom, she used to run a cheesecake business back in the 80s and sold them to a lot of different restaurants. It was very popular, and I'm going to try to recreate the same thing right here, right now, today, in the Kalorik Maxx air fryer oven. I'm not sure if it's going to translate well and work in that oven, but we're going to find out. So without further ado, first thing we got to do is prepare a graham cracker crust. Let's get to it. So the first thing to start off with is 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I'm going to put that in the microwave till it's melted. So first we need to measure out 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, and that will be about 170 grams. 171, good enough. I'm going to go ahead and add them to this mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to weigh out a half a cup of sugar, which is 100 grams. There we go. Going to go ahead and add the sugar in the same mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to pour in the melted butter and mix it all together with a rubber spatula. Make sure everything is well combined. That should do it. Next, I purchased a silicone springform pan. It has a little latch right here. Hopefully it works out good. And I'm going to go ahead and butter the bottom. And I'm also going to butter the sides. Next, you want to go ahead and put the graham cracker crust mixture in. And this is the part I'm not 100% sure about. So I'm going to try to spread it out even. And you kind of want to pack it down, not too tight, but definitely firm. And now we want to try to get the sides. I mean, it's sticking a little bit, but barely. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that anymore. That's about as good as I could get it. Now we got to make the cheesecake batter. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer while we're doing that. Next step is to create the filling. But first, let's go ahead and preheat the Max on bake mode. And I'm just going to set a bunch of extra time so I have time to prepare the filling. I'm just going to go with an hour and a half to be safe. Doesn't matter as long as the oven is warm when the cake goes in. And the temperature to cook at is going to be 350, and let's hit start. The next step calls for separating egg whites and egg yolks. I'm not really good at this. Hopefully it goes okay. Also, the recipe doesn't mention what size eggs to use. All right, let's go ahead and crack one open. And I'm going to try to suck up the egg yolk and put the egg yolk in the mixing bowl and the egg whites into this bowl. Okay, that worked. There we go. Put the egg whites in here. And I got to repeat this 4 more times, which I'll do off video. Okay, I successfully did that. I got 5 egg yolks in the mixing bowl. I'm going to be using some Philadelphia cream cheese, and you're supposed to use 2 8-ounce packages. So I guess I'll just break it in half. And here's the second one. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 tablespoon lemon juice and 1 cup of sugar. Now I'm going to install the paddle attachment. I lowered the mixer. Now we're supposed to go ahead and beat until it's smooth. So let's go ahead and start it. And oh yeah, how about them egg whites? Next I'm supposed to use a hand mixer and make some stiff peaks with the egg whites. Never done that before in my life, so here goes nothing. Well, there we go. That's close enough. I don't want to do it too much, so I'm going to call it a day right there. All right, catching back up to the mixer, let's go ahead and turn that off. Next step is to add 2 cups of sour cream. Now we're supposed to fold in the egg whites. So my understanding is you put some in and then kind of go from the bottom up. Then we'll grab some more. I'm just going to put the rest in. I mean, that looks pretty folded in. So I'd say that's probably pretty good. Everything definitely looks super smooth now. I'm going to go ahead and remove the paddle. Go ahead and remove the bowl. Alright, that's pretty much everything. The last instructions say to put it in the oven for an hour. Pretty sure you're supposed to put graham cracker crumbs on top too, because I always saw her cakes and they always had graham cracker crumbs on top. Fortunately, I saved some. And with any luck at all, this will actually turn out okay. I don't have total faith, but my mom sure had one heck of a business. And I also want to give a big shout out to Fanny, her assistant, who basically baked most of the cakes. Don't know if she'll ever watch my video, but maybe if she does, she could tell me what steps I went wrong at if I did. And that's pretty much all the crumbs I got left. And it looks like it coated the top okay. Next step is to put it in the Maxx. And I got to be careful because these sides are silicone and they press in. It's not like a steel pan. So I'm going to have to try to do this from the bottom. So let's go ahead and open the doors. And carefully slide it in. Close the doors. And I'm going to go ahead and set it for an hour and 1 minute. That'll take in consideration for the minute it was on. And let her go. Hopefully it works out right. Now I know with the Maxx, sometimes the back part cooks a little bit more than the front. And I'm not sure about turning it because cheesecakes, until they're settled, they could fall pretty easily. So I'll just have to keep an eye on it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth is here. I went ahead and let it bake for 50 minutes, okay? Normally it's supposed to go for an hour, but since the Maxx has a smaller enclosure, I notice it cooks food a little bit faster. Now, it's been sitting there with the doors open for an hour after the baking was complete. That's the way my mom would do it. And let's hope it comes out okay. I'm kind of nervous about this. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I'm kind of nervous. I didn't want to remove the pan. I thought I'd slide out the wire rack. Wow, it really doesn't look bad. There is a little crack in the middle, but I seem to remember my mom, when that would happen, she would fill it in with additional graham cracker crust. The part near the very back is a little bit more well done. So is it on the front, which was in the back. I rotated it around during the cooking. So let me show you what I'm looking at. Let me take you up close. So that's what I'm looking at. I could tell the crust here is a little bit well done, and same with right here. This was in the back at first. I rotated it halfway through cooking, and then this was in the back towards the rest of the cook. There is a small crack right here, nothing too major. Question is it done? And also, question is, will this silicone springform pan come loose without ripping off all the topping? Well, we're about to find out. Let's go ahead and give it a try. In fact, I'm going to spin it around. That's the springform release right there. And I guess you're just supposed to slide it off. Interesting little pan. And as I showed you when I was making this, I had trouble getting the crust to stick to the sides. So I may have to work on that a little bit. Oh, I see. So this pan, it actually adheres to the bottom of the glass, which is cool. But it is coming off okay. Of course, I have the mixer right behind it. That's all right. There we go. But yeah, really came off pretty clean. I wanted to show you guys a side view. You could tell the graham cracker crust didn't really stick too well to the sides of this pan. It did all right though. I mean, it kind of went up halfway. I'm just going to have to work on that, but let's look around. I mean, it's not too bad at all. Not too shabby, huh? It did go a little bit darker here, like I said, and I don't know, maybe next time I'll cook it 20 degrees less in temperature. Maybe that'll help it out so it doesn't get as well done. But all in all, not too bad. I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, this is my first time ever doing this. All right, I guess what's next is to cut a slice, right? And it's on a glass bottom. Like this pan came with a glass bottom to it, which is super helpful, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. And let me cut right about there. Let's see if I could remove this slice. Oh yeah, not too bad at all. There's a little bit of a cross section. Here's a look at the piece I just cut out. And I think now we should go back up top and I'll sample it with you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's the slice I cut. So let's give it a try. That's definitely pretty good. It's a little creamier than I remember. But again, I think that has something to do with it not being put in the refrigerator yet and it's still kind of warm. And who doesn't like that graham cracker crust, huh? That is so delicious on there. Yeah, I think the texture will improve once I put it in the fridge. I think it's going to harden up a little bit more. But still, as it is, it ain't bad either, you know? So that's about all I got for you right now. I really need to get to bed. I wake up at 3 in the morning, and right now, it's about 15 after 8 at night on Sundays. So, yeah, I'm not going to get the most amount of sleep tonight, but that's okay. I'm doing it all in the love of Cheesecake and my mom up in heaven. I really love my mom, really miss her, and hopefully she's smiling down on me as she saw me make her creation. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Fanny, who was my mom's assistant. In fact, she really baked most of the cheesecakes. It was a great teamwork effort by both of them. And another funny story is, when I was growing up as a kid, the entrance to the house inside of the garage, there's a door there, right? And my mom was always having a note on the door that said, "Do not slam the door," in big capital letters. "The cake will fall." And you know, as kids will be kids. Oh, I can't tell you how many times we slammed the door and got chewed out afterwards. So this was back, I think, in like the late 70s, early 80s. What fun times they were, I'll tell you what. So I think that's going to conclude this experience. I'm definitely going to try it again. My mom would also top them with fresh toppings. Sometimes she'd use strawberries, sometimes pineapples, sometimes blueberry. It was always great. You know, her creations were always great. She also made carrot cake and fudge, all kinds of goodies when we were growing up, you know. So I think we're going to tow this one out of here. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I got all kinds of good stuff coming up. And please, you guys, try to interact more on my channel. Leave me comments down below in the comments section. If you cannot comment on my video, it could be that you're not signed in to Google or YouTube. But if you open the YouTube app, you definitely will be able to comment, and you may want to check it out that way, because I love interacting with you guys and hearing your thoughts. So with that said, I'm going to wish you all a very stellar day. Be excellent. And most of all, remember me. I am KJ Andy O, your food experience host with the most. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.